Hey guys, it's Gus.
And Carlos from Hardware Unplugged.
And today we're going to be unboxing the Roccat Sens Pro. But before we get started, please make sure to hit that like button to show support. And if you want to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe.
Somewhere.
With that being said,
Let's begin.
alright, so this is one of 4 mousepads that Roccat recently came out with. This is the Roccat Sens Pro. They came out with the Roccat Sens Control, the Roccat Control mousepad, the Roccat Core, and the Roccat Icon mousepad. Yeah, so they have a desktop version for this mousepad, the Roccat Sens Pro, and this dimension of this one, we got the square version. Dimension of this one is 450 by 450, so it's literally a freaking square.
Yeah, it's a square.
So, yeah, I think squares are actually better than freaking the other the 450 by 400 dimensions, right? I like squares. Like, I forgot which one was a square. The Eve mousepad.
The Eve mousepad was 500.
Yeah.
I like. So I think keeping it square with 450 plus 450, you know, I think that's fair. You know.
Yeah.
Good size.
Yeah, and this mousepad is made out of military grade fabric. And
whatever that means.
Yeah, to me, because you can feel it through the box. I don't know if you've seen there's like holes and stuff where you can feel the fabric through the box. And that one, it feels a lot like Cordura fabric, right? Now, just by looking at it and feeling it, it feels like the Cordura fabric, if I'm being honest. You know what it looks like? You know what mousepad reminds me of just by looking at the top of the head? The XPG one.
Oh, it came with a little, with the forbidden salt packet.
No. Yeah, the freaking mousepad, the surface reminds me kind of like the XPG one.
It kind of does.
Right?
It reminds me, like, it looks like a Cordura fabric, honestly.
Yes.
Like, we could take out most of like the Cordura pads, and it probably looks something similar.
Yeah. Also, just by looking at it, the branding is very minimal. Has a little what do you call it? I guess
the Roccat cat,
the
tiger,
cat, whatever the heck that is. Has it right here. Then it has the yellow tag Roccat, which I think is. It's very minimalistic.
It's alright, but at the end of the day, right, wish they would have put it behind the mousepad so you just don't get in the way. So it's kind of a bummer that they put it up on top.
Yeah, stitching is pretty. It's good.
Stitching's good. You can tell where it ends, you know, which is not it's not bad, but
it's not bad. It's okay. It's not horrible.
It looks like pretty good stitching, honestly, right? Like I can't really.
You know what stitching is?
This reminds me a lot of a mousepad.
I forgot what stitching and mousepad is.
We'll try to find it or one up, but it does remind me of a certain stitching that some mousepad had.
I think it's the MP510. I think it's the MP510 has a stitching like that. As a matter of fact,
maybe.
Almost.
Or the MP511, maybe.
MP5.
The 11, I think it might be the one that might be similar. I mean, it does look very similar towards cooler matches, but which are decent. You know what I mean? Which are like good. I'm gonna say. But this one, you can also tell where the stitching ends too as well. It's on the bottom left, which is kind of funny on both.
Yeah. But yeah, anyways, that freaking mousepad. Yeah. So that mousepad, that one's more of a control side of things, right? The MP510. This one, however, just feeling like this, dude. Super gliding. Look, put more over here. Yeah. Try that. Woo!
Now, you know what this reminds me of, kind of?
MP450?
Yes. I was gonna tell you that. But I can tell you right now. MP450 is still faster,
right? Like slightly
faster. This is a little bit more.
It feels like, you know what?
I mean, it's still fast.
You know how the MP reminds me of? It's almost like if there's like soap on the freaking pad.
The MP450.
Yeah, like there's soap. You know how slippery?
Yeah, it's like super slippery. That's a perfect description for the MP450. It's very slippery, very fast, slippery. Yeah. This one kind of almost has that feel too.
Yeah, but not. Doesn't have that slick feeling, that super slippery feeling.
This feels like it will be really good to track in. I don't know why, you know what I mean?
Oh, I can't wait to try it, dude.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, interesting. We'll have to see what the military fabric means. I'm gonna Google that to make sure what that means, because I don't know what the hell that means. You know, it could be Cordura though. You know. Yeah,
I'm pretty confident it's gonna be Cordura, but
it looks and it feels like Cordura, so.
Yeah, pretty slick mousepad. $30. So lays on flat.
450 by 450. $30. The crease test does not affect it. No, I mean obviously right, it's gonna crease, right, but it's. Can you feel it over? Let me see.
A little bit, yeah. Don't crease. Still, don't crease.
No. You can't feel it, but yeah.
Either way, laid on flat. Stitching is pretty good. Base, pretty good. Size, pretty good. Only thing left to do is to take it for a spin for a few weeks and see how it performs and holds up.
Ball in. Got the guy for 100.
96. This is coming in right now. Good shit, boys. I bought 197. I bought 17. That's new team.
Alright, so we're back from testing and we tried the Sense Pro for about 2 weeks.
Yep.
And then during that time we picked up the Sense Icon and we'll be using this for a whole week. Now, some similarity between the two are that the dimensions are the same, 450 or 450 on both. And the rubber base is the same, you know.
Yeah, this is the same rubber base. Yeah.
Now the differences between the two, one of the differences is the stitching. The stitching on the Icon's a little thinner, right? Than this one. That one takes up a little bit more space, and I kind of like it. It's a little more tight. That one looks a little bit more loose.
The Pro is the one that's thinner. The Icon definitely sticks out more. I don't know. To me, in my opinion, I do like the one on Sense Pro more. It's just more flat with the pad than it does with the Icon.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, that's what I have.
Let us know down below which one you guys prefer.
Yeah.
Let me see now. Another difference is the thickness. Now the thickness on the Sense Icon is 3mm thick.
3mm thick.
And the Pro is 2mm thick. Another differences are the surface, right? So this one's a cloth type surface, and that's a Cordura type surface. It says military grade, but it is Cordura because it feels exactly like kind of like the MP450, and it looks like a Cordura type surface. Like no other surface that we've tried comes close to other than Cordura. Surface. So the Sense Pro, you tried it for 2 weeks, and what happened?
It started to bubble in the middle. I don't know why. It started to bubble like right where I would place my hand on it. And then after a while, the bubble kind of went away. And it wasn't like it was like the mouse pad itself, like the adhesive was moving up from the base.
Not like the XPG.
It was more like it was kind of curling in bubble, which is kind of weird. Cause then the next day, whenever I woke up, the bubble was gone, but it started to curl inward on the outer edges of the actual pad, which is another weird thing. And then whenever the temperature was not too hot, not too cold, it was like
just right,
pretty good. The mouse pad was laying down flat, and the bubble was gone, and it wasn't curling, like that. So I don't know what's wrong with this mouse pad. It for sure gets affected by humidity. That's one thing. For sure, it gets affected by temperature and humidity, for sure, for sure.
But not the surface itself.
But not the surface itself, which is kind of funny. Just like the actual pad, I guess like the base. Something's going on here. Yeah, that's what happened with it. And you know what's funny? I found that out within like the first 2 days of using the pad. So
yeah, it's a freaking bummer. So surface itself doesn't get affected, but the pad,
but the pad itself,
does.
What a bummer.
Yeah, and I know earlier in the video we mentioned that the MPC 450 felt slicker and faster, but when I actually compared it, took them out, the MPC 450 was actually slower, and the Roccat Sense Pro was the faster one, right? Between the two, I wouldn't recommend either or, just because the freaking MPC 450 comes in the tube, and this one, it has those issues that we ran into, and the freaking stitching that one started to fray, right? So I didn't like that. This one, the Sense Icon, is a cloth type surface, and the performance almost reminds me of a Focus 3, right?
Yeah, it feels like a Focus 3. Just that one's a little bit more slower.
Yes,
honestly.
it is slower. It is slower. Now they do say that the surface is like a resin treated surface, right?
Something like that.
It's like coated or something. So
some resin coating, something. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess if it has a coating, we don't know how durable it's gonna be, right? But this one we used it for a whole week, and did it get affected by the temperature?
Nah, I couldn't tell anything at all, honestly.
Me
And it was really hot, and it was rainy, and it was hot, and it was cold.
Yeah.
So, but it felt the same to me, honestly.
Yeah.
It was kind of crazy how $20 mouse pads,
They're
are
good.
just, at least like you know what I mean, like
Recently,
the new ones. They really don't get affected by humidity, which is funny. You know, and then some $30 mouse pads do. You know, like for example, like this one.
Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty weird. Yeah. So the Focus 3 mousepad it's a little slicker, right? And you can move your mouse easier, right? This one, it does have a little more control to it, but it's weird because you could still move around easy, right?
Yeah.
But you can still feel some heaviness and like.
You can.
You prefer this one over the Focus 3,
the
right?
Focus, I do actually. The Focus 3, I mean, they're both good, but you know, if I had to choose one, obviously I would pick the Roccat Sense Icon. I think I had a pretty dang good time with it, honestly.
Yeah. Between the Focus 3 and the Sense Icon, however, I personally would choose the Focus 3 just because it is a little speedier, but it's not too freaking fast, and I like the low static friction that it offers over the Roccat. But they're almost the same. It's just that this is more like control wise. Well, between the Focus 3 is more on the control side, right? So between the Icon and the Sense Pro, which one do you prefer?
Definitely the Sense Icon. Don't even get the Sense Pro, honestly. That thing is just I mean, obviously, right, like if you want to get it, fine, go for it. But I would get the desk pad size just because, you know, maybe that one might not bubble like this one for sure.
And even
you know?
then, we don't even know.
And even then, yeah, we don't know. But for sure, I like the Sense Icon.
Yeah, me too. For $20, dude, I think the Sense Icon is actually pretty good.
You actually get a pretty decent sized pad for $20.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy.
$450, yeah, dude. And they fly out of the box, right? Yeah, so now they have other mousepads that have the Sense Control, and they have the Sense Core, right? The Sense Core, I think, is $15, right? The Sense Control is $30, right? So I may pick those up later on, but yeah, between the two, yeah, I prefer this one too. It's for $20. I think you can go wrong. A lot of good mousepads out there coming. Well, between the Focus 3 and this one, dude, $20, dude.
They're pretty good, yeah.
They're damn pretty good, right? So, yeah, if you guys want to check these mousepads out, we can leave links down below. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is Gus
and Carlos from Hardware Unplugged,
and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.